Hello, and welcome back to what this channel is actually really about, which is combos. So in today's video I'm just going to go through a couple of more scenarios you can do with the Galacticmon and looking into the future of the deck. My goal today is that I want people to invest in this deck because it's far more fun and far better than people actually expect it to be. So it's been a little while, so let's just jump right into it. So this scenario is a direct sequel to the previous video, so if you don't have any clue what Galacticmon does or what he's about, I suggest, link in the description, watch the previous video, you will understand all of this so much better. To put simply, tragedy has struck, our opponent managed to kill our Galacticmon, and well, that most often than not, if they manage to do that, we pretty much lose the game, since the Galacticmon is a very slow deck. So once you get into the Galacticmon, you need to be in the position where you win with that Galacticmon or you're out. Galacticmon is a persistent bastard, but he is not invincible. So what the hell do we do now? Because this scenario has come up a few times for me where, you know, it's our turn after the death of a Galacticmon. We are at free memory since it's our tamer, we have our pride, and we have our Doraemon. But the problem is that, what do we do? Because even if we like hard play the Vemmon, crack the boost going to 2, and then going to the Snatchmon, we're going to put our opponent at 1, they're just going to be able to kill it, and the game is just over for us. But thankfully, the Bandai gods have blessed us this day. They are going to release a card for the Galacticmon deck that saves it, which makes the deck go from mediocre to good. And I'm not actually making this up. The Destromon promo that's coming out in the future is just absolutely insane. Like, it's so much better than the Destromon we have right now, and it has Digi-crossing. I'm going to show you how absolutely disgustingly powerful this card is in a few seconds, but let's just go through it. It has the same play cost, the same DP, and the same evolution cost as the normal one, but instead of just destroying a tamer, if you have 5 or more Vemmons, it has the effect of on play or when digivolving, delete your opponent's Digimon and Tamers with a total play cost of 3. For every Vemmon in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, increase the maximum play cost you can choose by this effect by 1. That already sounds a lot better. If there's only one Vemmon in the sources, it's already doing what the older Destromon does, but the effect gets better the more Vemmons are under it. But what makes this card so disgustingly powerful is the Digi-cross. It has Digi-cross -1. You can put under a Snatchmon and up to 4 Vemmons under it to reduce the play cost for a total of 5. Which is 100% perfect for what this deck is already doing. So let me demonstrate what this card does. So like I said, our Galacticmon has tragically passed away. And this card actually gives us a chance to immediately get back into the game. Because as I explained in the previous video, it's very important to have a memory tamer and play cards like the Pride. And in combination of this, it's perfect for what we need to do. So by cracking the Pride memory boost going to 5, one of the problems with the Galacticmon deck is the fact that you sometimes really do have a problem of getting the Vemmons out of your hand. But this card certainly fixes that problem. So we'll play the Destromon, declaring its Dig-across. We'll choose to put under a Snatchmon and 4 Vemmons, making the play cost only 5, going to 0, triggering his own play effect. Since we have 4 Vemmons in his sources, we can delete Digimon or Tamers up to a total of play cost of 7. That means boom, 3 cool boys are gone, a level 5 is gone, a rookie and a tamer is gone. Like, it's so immensely much better. But that's not really the best part. It's just the fact that Vemmon and Snatchmon cost 6 memory. Going into the Destromon with all of the sources already under, meaning that we have not procced there when this Digimon with the Destromon and Galacticmon reduce the evolution cost by 1. So this technically means that when we go into the new Galacticmon, his Digivolution cost will be reduced by 4, putting our opponent to 2, putting under 4 Vemmons from trash, which our last Galacticmon has conveniently put there for us, giving him exactly 8 Vemmons under, destroying a Digimon. And the crazy part is that if your opponent has a memory tamer on field when they deleted your Galacticmon, the fact that you can immediately go into another Galacticmon and destroy their tamer and then choke them at 2 memory instead of 3, like, it's insane. We can immediately bounce back into a new Galacticmon because of this new promo. It's insane. It's insane. This will make the deck good. Trust me. And the new bans incoming, or the restriction for the Greymon X antibody, also makes it so that the Galactimon's worst enemy, Digivolve, will not be as present in the future meta. So this is a great time to invest in Galacticmon before this promo comes out, because this bad boy will just absolutely break this deck. With just a memory tamer and a pride, you can immediately go into another level 6, putting your opponent to 2, destroying a Digimon, destroying a tamer, and he can redirect attack, block, and at the start of your turn, trash the top security. It's so good. It's so good. And looking at these two, it's just, this is at another level. This is going to be 100% to be replaced. They do share the exact same inheritable though, just to be clear. So you will still be able to redirect attack for a cost of 2 Vemmons. So with all of the excitement for the future out of the way, let's get into some more basic combos and spice I want to show. Some people might find the Galacticmon deck a bit too slow, and I can understand. Like, he wants to control the field, remove a tamer, remove a Digimon, block, redirect, so forth and so forth. He does trash the top security. When he attacks, he does a damage. When the turn comes back, he trashes another security and smash, boom. The problem is that is not fast enough to finish the game. So here's a good old card that we can use to actually increase his damage output by quite a lot. Final Sobagon Punch, a black staple from BT4, like, you know, I remember playing this card when it came out in Black Toolbox. It has the effect of one of your Digimon gets 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's next turn, which, trust me, that's going to be very good. Then, if this Digimon has 16,000 DP or more, that Digimon gains Blocker, Reboot, and Security Attack +1. So what that means now is that Galacticmon turns into a 17k beast, will swing, doing 2 security checks at our opponent's turn. He will reboot and already have Blocker online. But to make this even more spicy, since the Final Sobagon Punch only costs 2, we can actually do this. We can play a Fusionize for 1, and we can load in a second copy of Destromon under him. Why? Well, now that he has both Reboot and Blocker from the Final Sobagon Punch, he will be 18k. The first time our opponent attacks, we can block with 18k. Next time he attacks, we can discard 2 Vemmons to the bottom of our deck to redirect attack. He will restand and gain double Blocker, so we can block again. But now, since we loaded a second copy of Destromon, we can activate its effect, so if our opponents attack even a 4th time, we can redirect the attack into him. So not only did we increase our damage output with the Galacticmon, the fact that he gains 3000 DP blocker, which makes him be able to control more of the attacks our opponent does. The DP boost is also very good, because if he gets the Digivolve, he becomes 14,000, which is still not enough for some Digimons to hit over, making that the chance of him surviving much bigger. And when the turn, if he survives and the turn faces back and we go into another Galacticmon, he will pretty much cost absolutely nothing, still be our turn, we can swing, so forth, so forth. And I also want to specifically show you this thing, because in the last video I showed you that the Vemmon can evolve directly into the Destromon, and in the same way the Snatchmon can evolve directly into the Galacticmon 4-9. So if we were to have a very horrible game where we don't find the Destromon, we can technically use the Fusionize for 0, since we control a Snatchmon, putting a Vemmon under, to evolve him into Galacticmon directly for a reduced cost of 5, so he will cost 4, putting our opponent to 1, doing its effect, putting under 4. We have 8, so more than 8, so we'll destroy one of our opponent's Digimon. We do not have the ability to redirect attacks, so he's certainly not as powerful as he should be. But if you're in a desperate situation, sometimes you maybe don't have a choice but to do this, since his evolution is kind of like a removal card. And next spicy little combo that's coming up, shout out to Shadow Central on the Swedish Discord for suggesting this. It's super funny. So your Galacticmon got de-digivolved, you're feeling a little bit spicy, you wanna, maybe have a good time, wanna ruin your opponent's day, so why go into the Galacticmon when we can go into the Black War Greymon promo instead? Considering that we have 5 million sources in this deck, we can just swing, discard, suspend, swing, discard, unsuspend, swing, discard, unsuspend, swing, Digiburst, unsuspend, swing, Digiburst, unsuspend, and boom, hopefully for game at least. You can actually use this little guy in this deck if you want to as your secondary level 6, because why the hell not? You can swing like 6 times, and hey, if you play the Juja Tamer, he becomes 13k when evolve into him. Hey, that's pretty good. So that's it for this time. I hope you enjoyed the video. If I didn't host one of the biggest Swedish tournaments on the 11th, I actually would have played Galacticmon at the Ultimate Cup, the monocolored Ultimate Cup, because I think he would have been actually a very decent choice, because he had, being in black color, he does have access to one of the more delicious removal cards that would counter decks like Bloom Lord, and he's incredibly annoying towards like those decks as long as he comes out of the field. Except for maybe Blue Flare, but let's not talk about that. So I hope you enjoyed the video and you got something out of it. Big announcement also. I now have a Twitter account for the channel, follow it in the description below if you want to follow my adventure hosting tournaments and locals and all of the janky brewing I do and updates on the videos and so forth. It would mean a lot to me if you did. Remember to also leave a like and a subscribe and a comment down below, and have an amazing day. Bye bye!